All right, hey everybody, we're back with another news feed. This one here to start off with. Remember, you can go to the author here. It's Car Scoops. Type in any of these keywords. We'll take you directly to this article if you want to read it for yourself. And remember, I post a video a day minimum, sometimes two, sometimes three. And hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss anything. And there's great stuff in the description as well too. So here we're diving in here, and Car Scoops right here. You can get a new transmission for less than Wrangler's $4,500 automatic transmission option. This is kind of interesting. The Jeep charges $4,500 for their 8-speed automatic transmission, but Mopar sells it brand new with a torque converter for $3,611.20. It's just interesting when we think about that, but it is a $4,500 option on the Wrangler, yet it's only a $2,500 option, I think, on the Gladiator. I think it's something like that. And then as an example as well, too, Ford charges only $1,495 to go from the manual to the 10-speed automatic in the Bronco. So like I said, it's a pretty huge, significant price that Jeep charges, $4,500 to go with an automatic in the Wrangler. They're talking about how Wrangler sales fell 17%, while the Gladiator is down 24%. Stellantis sucks. Jeep's amazing. Ram is amazing. Stellantis sucks really bad. Stellantis is the worst car company ever in existence. We've talked about that many times. But here it just goes to show you where was it? Right here. If you want a Wrangler with an 8-speed gearbox, you have to shell out an additional $4,500. That's a ridiculous amount of money considered as a Jeep tax. If you're not inclined to agree, we'll point you to Mopar. They offer a brand new 8-speed trans, complete with torque converter for $4,380. However, it's on sale right now for $3,611. So you can see it right here, right through Mopar on their website. And you're going to get a core charge, $2,000 there. That being said, Jeep throws in a bunch of extras with it when you get the automatic. You're also going to get adaptive cruise control, select speed control system, which is essentially off-road cruise control. It says here, thankfully, Jeep does not charge that much for the automatic on a Gladiator. It's a $2,500 option for in the Gladiator. But it is interesting that you can buy one brand new trans for $3,600. That's kind of the big takeaway here. We know that you can get a brand new 3.6 Pentastar crate motor completely done, ready to bolt up and drop in kind of thing. You can get one for $6,300, and for $3,600 you can throw a complete crate trans on there. You know what? That's $10,000. You have a complete whole new motor and driveline system for this. That's pretty, and you know, you can probably put it in your own backyard realistically. I mean, that's pretty dang impressive when you think about how cheap it is to work on Jeeps. That is a beautiful thing. Moving on from there, here, on Mopar Insiders here, the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO Crew Cab has been spotted on the streets on famed Woodward Avenue. Woodward Avenue is in it's over by, it runs from Pontiac all the way down to Detroit, and that's where they do the Dream Cruise, all that stuff. There's a million venues. I spent so much time on Woodward when I lived in Michigan, and I'm telling you that this is pretty cool. I have 4 friends right now that have RHOs on order. Okay, 4 people that have them. One of them, you guys know, Barry, my buddy Barry over at SeaTech Review, been my snowmobile buddy for 15 years. Like I said, we've known each other forever. One of my best friends, and he has one of these on order too. I mean, like I said, this truck is so sick. I mean, this thing is amazing. It looks so much better than a TRX in my opinion. This thing is just refined. It is classy. I love the high output Hurricane. This thing is amazing. Look at this beast. Just look at this thing. It is, man, that is a truck right there. No doubt about it. I mean, I'd take this thing over a Raptor. I'd take this over any of the desert racing full size. This thing is just insane, and I have such high hopes for this motor. They show you more pictures. Look at this thing. What a beast of a truck. So excited to see one of these in person and be able to drive one. I mean, this thing is just, what a wicked truck. Here's the details on you. And you can see 69 grand. You know, $69,000, $70,000. You know, I mean, the Raptors and, you know, and the Raptor R's and the prices of this stuff is getting so out of hand and so stupid. And Ram says, no, we aren't doing that. We're coming back with 70 grand. And to get this truck is, I think it's amazing. Okay. It may not have the 750 horsepower that the TRX had. I don't care. I don't care. This thing is sweet. Everything about this thing is sweet. So, moving on over here, this is on Daily Dot. I like some of their little tags that show up on here. Everything is full of the same gunk. Ford mechanic shows what happens to a truck when you don't regularly change the oil and you idle. Okay, so many people don't know that, but when you idle, it's just like driving it. It makes no difference. So if you idle a lot, say you're a delivery person, or you end up spending a lot of time waiting, or you're a security guard, you're going to sit in your car, whatever the case is, or somebody like me that uses my car to cool down, for air conditioning when I'm out in the woods sometimes. When you idle a car, it's the same as putting miles on it as far as the oil is concerned. But this guy says right on here, he's going to show this is the Ford in question is a 5-liter Coyote. I believe it's an F-150 with a 5-liter. The car has roughly 85,000 miles on it. He implies that the truck was in bad shape because the owner neglected to get the oil changed. It's safe, he said, I would be willing to say that it's probably going at least 7 to 10,000 mile intervals on the oil change, the worker guessed. Instead, he said the owner probably needed to get the truck's oil changed every 5,000 miles. And if the truck sits idle for 8 to 10 hours a day, he added the oil should be changed every 2 to 3,000 miles. And he tells you, believe it or not, when your engine is idling, your oil is deteriorating. He said all the buildup and gunk, if it's on the outside, it's on the inside. He said this is particularly dangerous because the engine contains small mechanical parts that need to work in order to help the car operate. While the Ford displayed was still in driving condition, car's camshaft cylinder heads were full of gunk. Everything is full of that same gunk because you cannot do a simple oil change when it's supposed to be done, he said. And he's not lying. Okay, we've talked about this many times. I don't care how good the oil is. I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch where they say, well, the scientists say this, and all this stuff says this, and this is what the engineer said. I don't care. Change your oil. It's easy to do, and it's not expensive. It's one of those things, but 10,000 mile oil changes are not a good thing. Change it every 5,000 miles. Do it right. And, even said right here, some of these guys said, 3K on all my vehicles. Okay, I mean, this 10,000 oil changes are just not good. Okay, if you're leasing it, fine, do whatever you want to, and that's just the way it is. But if you own it and you want to have it long term, 5,000 mile oil changes. All right, and then the last one I'm going to cover right here. This is interesting. Stellantis working on in-motion four-wheel drive low shifts. It should say Jeep because I don't think Stellantis really works on much of anything, but it looks like it's Jeep that's going to be doing this. It is interesting, but I don't really want it. Okay, but four-wheel drive vehicles offer feature transfer cases with low range. This is a trail-centric gearing use that can be engaged on the move. This is a trail-centric gearing. Usually cannot be engaged on a move. In other words, to go into 4 low with any truck available today, to go into 4 high, you can switch it on the fly. Pull the lever, turn the knob, but you can switch into 4 high and 2 high back and forth while you're driving. 4 low requires you to come to a stop, shift the transmission into neutral, shift the transfer case into 4 low, then shift out of neutral back to drive and continue on. You have to do that. Same to disengage it. Well, it looks like Jeep or Stellantis is planning on coming out with a patent that's going to allow you to do an in-motion low-range shifts. Sounds great. Sounds perfect. Sounds very exciting. I'm excited. So I read what they're going to do. Using a hybrid system with 2 electric motors connected to an internal combustion engine via a planetary gear set while retaining a traditional transfer case and a rear differential. In such a system, 2 motors are used to synchronize the speed of the engine and the transmission output shaft in order to execute smooth shifts into and out of low range while the vehicle is moving. 1 motor would be connected to the planetary gear's central sun gear, which would apply torque to the gear shaft to moderate engine speeds. The second motor would do the same for the transmission output shafts. Sensors would monitor the speed of the engine, transmission output shaft, prop shaft, wheel, sending instructions to the controller as necessary to ensure everything syncs up to engage low range while moving. Sounded really cool when I heard that they were going to let you maybe possibly do in-motion low-range shifts. But if this is what it takes to do that, you can leave all this complicated crap back on the garage floor. I don't want it. I'd rather just come to a stop, put her in neutral, shift into 4 low, come out of neutral, and get on about my business without all this extra crap going on. So possibly coming out with it, Jeep has some things up their sleeve. They might be doing this. For me, I really hope they don't. I honestly, after reading what it would take to do this and seeing all of this crap that's involved with this, no thanks. What we got going on right now absolutely works just fine, and not interested. But they did put out a patent for it, so we'll see what they come up with. My opinion, put it on whatever you want to. Just leave it off the Jeeps. Leave it off the true off-roaders. That's my take on it. What do you think? Should they do it? Would you buy it if they did it? Do you think that all this extra BS that we talked about in here would be worth it? What's your thoughts? Let me know. Thanks for watching.